I love the EP. I, these are a lot of my favorite bands all in one. Um, One thing that I absolutely love, man, is it's heavy, but is the message is there. The lyrics are just as strong and just as heavy as the music is, man. There's so much good about this music and this EP, man. There's a lot to digest with it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, how do you interpret the message? What was like the one thing you took away from it?
Um, well, one of the songs I really gravitated towards was Attention.
Yeah.
And the way I interpret a song like that is, like the line where you say standing over your body. Basically, what I took out of that is don't wait until it's too late to turn things around and make a decision to make your life better, whether that's spiritually or just as a person, because after you're gone, it's too late. And, it's like I'm telling you, I'm trying to get through to you. I've done everything I can to help you. And now I'm standing over your body and now it's too late. And I hate that you're going to find out now, but I, I, I hope that that's kind of the message I got out of that song. And it's a
Interesting.
message, it's a message of hope. There's a lot of hope. It gets, I feel like it gets dark at times, but there's also that really strong underlying message of no matter what, there's always hope and it can get better, and you have the power to make it better if you want to. Is kind of what I took away from a lot of it.
That's cool. In comparison, man, that's I love that song. That song is actually super crazy. The song is actually a lot of pent up. I don't want to say anger, but like frustration, maybe. And it literally, sitting down to write that, it was like I don't know, it came pouring out of me, and basically it was basically about a normal guy, going about his normal day, and he doesn't know anything that's going on, and that there is a serial killer stalking him.
Oh, oh no.
Yeah, so the whole premise of it is this serial killer stalking this normal dude who's and this normal dude has gone through a day, and he's had like he's not having a great day. He hasn't had a great couple of months. And when you hit that spot of rock bottom.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've had days like this where
Oh
you're
yeah.
like, I really hope somebody tests me today.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Always. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So that the serial killer comes strolling along expecting, he's like, yeah, I got this guy. And it just is the wrong dude on the wrong day. It's almost like a ode to the show Dexter.
Oh, nice. My wife is obsessed with Dexter. She absolutely loves Dexter. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of in that realm. And
Okay.
it's one of those things where it's just like, I picture this normal guy just be like, all right, man, and somehow figures out that this person has killed a bunch of people. And it's just like, I just picture dragging the body in. It's just like this dude who's still also down on his luck, but it's just like, this is where we're at. Life,
Oh man.
you have done this to me.
Well, I took that a completely different direction, man.
That's the beauty of music, man.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of like just is open to interpret
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
that's why, like, a lot of times I like to leave things, in the
Yeah.
past I've left a lot of things open for interpretation, but like lately, like, it's been that feeling where I was like, I gotta share these psycho songs that I'm writing. They're like, I'm writing about some interesting stuff here.
That's so freaking awesome. Or I love the
Yeah,
song even more because
yeah,
I'm a huge into like horror movies, and with me, the bloodier the better. Like I'm big on the Terrifier movies right now, and
yeah.
so like that's my favorite song on the album. That makes me love it even more. That's
Well,
awesome.
so even like a song like Left to Save, the first
Yeah,
track, That's
Yeah.
about the Donner Party. That's are you familiar
Yeah.
with that story?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that song is inspired by that entire story.
That's awesome. I
They
love this
they
EP even more.
they found the bodies in the cave, like
Oh wow.
it's literally,
This
that's
is
one of my
awesome.
favorite historical stories because it's
Yeah.
just so messed up, man.
Yeah, and it's more messed up than like what they teach because you learn a little bit about it. I think like I learned a little bit about it in school, just like the vague, just like oh they were traveling and then they got cold and then they ate each other and that was about as much as. But yeah, it's kind of like
Well,
yeah, kind of like the old Disney movies like Snow White and stuff. Like those original stories were
kind of warped.
so much worse
Yeah.
than what you would hear. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the content, like the lyrical content that just pops up is just like, for me it's like random. Like,
That's awesome.
imagine I'm sitting in my studio and like I write and record at the same time. So what you
Right.
have on the album is exactly it in its purest form.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So
That's
like,
awesome.
which is pretty cool. And it's like, it's crazy though. Like, Burn is another song that a lot of people are trying to figure out, and it's actually about the times of the Salem witch trials.
That's
So
awesome.
so like what I had pictured in my mind on the bridge, that's kind of heavy, kind of racy, was basically a a group or a mob trying to obtain, you're gonna burn. Like, they're all like, I'm
Wow.
talking pitchforks are out, like, and it kind of like explains, it kind of like talks about um how I like to use a lot of perspectives. So like the perspective is like, it kind of lets you, it almost like the thought process behind it is like, back in the Salem witch days, you didn't even have to be a witch to get that treatment.
Right. Most
All you had,
most of them weren't. Yeah.
it's so imagine it's like
Yeah.
modern day trolling on the internet, basically. Oh,
Yeah.
that is a witch. Boom, you're canceled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it kind of draws parallels, and
Huh.
like, even Left to Save, like, perspective wise, I even covered kind of like it lyrically, the perspective from after the survivors came off the mountain, like, and how everybody looked at them.
Wow.
Well, what would you do if you're in that situation? You die, or you're gonna have to,
Yeah.
like, it's a rough
Yeah.
situation, man.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Oh wow.
it's just it's a lot of crazy weird stuff, but this is actually the first I've spoken about the lyrics to
Huh.
anybody. So
That's I love this EP even more, and it's been on freaking 5 times today. Just like I blast that thing on my way to work and back every day. Like, yeah, man, this is so it's so good, and I love how like there's everybody who's in the group is so many different styles of rock and metal. It's not like straight just everybody
yeah,
that's attack style. Everybody, in fact, Trey is probably the most odd man out stylistically on this record. I feel like because there's not a lot of
he's
stuff
the
that really,
he's the one who makes it work, because
yeah,
so with me, I'm kind of like a melting pot. I'm all over the place. I could
mm-hmm,
do, you name it, I'm gonna try it. It's
right,
and so for Trey's bass lines are just like, I don't know, they just get me all up in my feelings, just like, dude, I feel it. Like, he's just sick. Like, he's like one of the best bass players I've played with.
he's so
Um,
underrated, man. He is so
yeah,
underrated.
yeah,
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 he grew, the way him and Yogi lock in and groove is just, that can't be taught, that can't be
yeah,
practiced. I mean, we had our first two shows this last weekend,
yeah.
and everybody was just like, dude, that was what? Yeah, it's kind of mind blowing with it, but yeah, it
Yeah.
all kind of works together just because everybody loves all different styles of music, and I connect with Trey on a big, because he likes a lot of R&B stuff too, and
Right.
like that's like that stuff I'm totally into, and I like a lot of pop, a little bit of metal here and there, all
Mhm.
across the board. But it's just like, I think everybody just gets it, especially nobody more than Mark. Um, I think Mark looks at the songs, and the same way I do, and doesn't see a ceiling.
Right.
Just yeah, like just goes for it. Like I
Yeah.
think the way we did this EP was just super like don't overthink it. It was just
Mhm.
like a we didn't even know what genre we were when we started writing it.
Nice. Well, and a lot of people when they saw the announcement didn't know really musically what to expect from it, you know?
Yeah,
And that's what makes it so good is there's some stuff that fits, the different bands that you guys are all in, but you guys also go completely out of the box in so many different ways too. Like,
yeah,
it's not like this is a Demon Hunter side project. This isn't a Letter Black side project. It's not an Inhale Exhale Attack Attack,
it's just
Disciple
another
side
project.
project. Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's what I love when side projects come together. And I hate the term supergroup. This is when just guys from different projects come together and it's not what you would expect to hear and you guys do something completely different. That's what makes these things so great. And that's what this one is, you
yeah.
know, every song's different and it's just so cool.
It's just like a bro down, man. It's not
Yeah.
like a we're not rolling out red carpets. We're just writing fun songs
Yeah. Yeah.
and trying to really just hit home with people and just like melt their faces, I suppose.
Right. And one thing that's cool is like when a lot of these bands form, they never play shows. It's like here's a record, we came together, we did something, we're done. Like you guys are playing shows, you guys are gigging, you guys did Throwdown at the campground, which
Yep.
was I'm pissed I'm not in Florida because that lineup was awesome,
Yeah, it
and
was a good time.
yeah, and then you guys had a headline show as
Yeah.
well. So I mean, was playing shows something you guys wanted to do from the beginning? Because outside of Disciple, you know, this is kind of a downtime for a lot of you, for a lot of like as far as touring goes.
Yeah.
Andrew's finishing up Winter Jam right now,
Yeah.
which I don't know how he got away from that because that whole thing is insane. But
Yeah.
to be able to, did this kind of just fall at just the perfect time for you guys to be able to go out and play some shows because a lot of you guys aren't out on the road right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's all the schedules seem to be working really nicely at the moment, so it's like we're just doing the best we can to balance everything.
Right, right.
It's like, especially after these first two shows, like we've I think we felt that we really performed at an elite level, at least for our own expectations.
Right.
When you get together and you've written this and now you're just like, okay, so we have to like do this in person now. So it's like,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, so it's like getting all the right things in order and all the hard work, to make a solid set. Mark was like a recluse for 2 months working on everything. So it's like that
I
dude,
can see
that
that.
dude, that dude. I was like, I hope we don't break Mark. But no, yeah, like we were really happy with the first two shows, and there was just some really cool people to share it with.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was like one of those things where it's just like it felt really good. Played a venue in Jacksonville that we've all played, and
Right.
we know like the sound system there rules and the people there rule, and
Nice. Nice.
some of the best shows I've had on tours have been at that venue. So it's like
Nice. Nice. Yeah,
it's
because
just like I could smell it in the air as soon as I walked in. I was like, home sweet home.
that's awesome. Because a lot of the club venues, man, it's hit and miss, especially like the ones up here. Like it's
Yeah.
you never know. It's just
Now, where are you located at?
I'm up in Indianapolis, so I'm not far from like Pierre's up in Fort Wayne, which is
Indianapolis used to be a rage back in the day, man.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
I'm supposed to be in Fort Wayne tonight, at Pierre's, but unfortunately, it was going to be with Saliva. So,
yeah, yeah,
and unfortunately, that's not going to
not
happen.
happening.
Did you know Wayne at all?
I did.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I never met him, but I mean yeah, suit just it sucks, you know.
Yeah, I saw
Um,
some posts on it, and I was like, man, that's pretty sad.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm up in Indianapolis and yeah, it's still we're starting to get a lot of stuff back, you know. Even during COVID, even in 2020, we had a few shows up here. Like I saw like Saving Abel during
Yeah.
2020 in like December and it was really weird, but it was really cool, you
Well, that's
know.
cool.
So, but yeah, man, like, a lot of those club venues are hit and miss, so it's awesome that you know that venue just everything fired on all cylinders because, you know, that
Yeah.
can make or break a show. It can make a great show bad, but it can also make, you know, a not so great show good at the same time, you
Yeah.
know? So, um, so yeah, I mean, going back to, I mean, are more shows something you guys might be doing down the road? Because I know that Demon Hunter's gonna be going out soon.
Yep.
I assume Attack's gonna be ramping things up here soon as well.
Yep.
And
We're
then
headed out. We're headed out in mid-May, so
yeah,
we'll be out for like 5 6 weeks, something like that. Heading out with Belmont and Traders, and
yeah,
uh, so that'll be a cool time. It's a headliner, and then in July, World Gone Cold is going to have a couple shows. So we've got like
nice,
yeah, so we've got a couple shows
nice,
brewing. Couple have been announced, so
nice.
um, hitting. I think there's a couple festivals on there, um, but yeah, you should be seeing us on the road as much as we
Nice.
can. Absolutely, be on the road.
How is it with Rockfest Records? Because that's a label that really genuinely cares about its artist, the message, the music. They push their artists a lot. And they really, there's a huge difference because they really care. They're not just a label that signs you and just, you know, like they really genuinely care about their artists. It's a really cool label. How has it been working with the guys over there?
No, it's been good. It's still kind of we're still kind of um, getting to know each other and everything, but haven't had any issues or anything. So it's just excited. We got the album out and everything. That's like that. Obviously, it's like the big one. You know, when that drops,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, cool. Got to keep
Right.
going. So, so yeah. I mean, things are
Nice.
cool.
And then the first two singles that released, opposite track, Apology, two completely different ends of the spectrum, stylistically very
Yep.
different, but that's the record in a whole. How conscious was that decision to put out the two singles you guys released ahead of time, completely different? One's very, very heavy. One's it's heavy, but not with as much unclean vocals and all that stuff, and two
Yeah.
very, very different styles.
Yeah. Well, I think we knew Apology was going to be number two, no matter what. I think that's just kind of where it fell. Um, Believe it or not, we had two other singles that were lined up before
Really?
Opposites Attract was a Hail Mary.
Really?
Yeah. There's two other different songs that were an Apology might have even been a first release talk at one point.
Wow.
But I think we as a band agreed collectively that Opposites Attract um, was everything that we wanted to share with people first. You know, um, it's got it's a song that's got a great groove to it. I feel like it's relatable on all levels. You know, I feel like a lot of people, no matter what kind of music you listen to, can listen to it and enjoy it. So, um, yeah, we love that song. That's a super fun song, and
Mhm.
but yeah, it wasn't really set in stone. It was
Huh.
just like it was like a boom, we're going with it. And
Nice.
you know, we've had great reactions. Everybody seems to be throwing Opposites Track a ton of positive feedback. So
Yeah.
you know, can't couldn't really hope for much more. You know.
Right. And I guess finally, like yeah, with the EP being out and it being so well received, and even with before it released, you know, sitting down and looking at the final product, what does World Gone Cold, this EP, this project as a whole really mean to you personally? Because it's a really cool project, man. And the fact that you guys were able to come together and pull this off as well as you did says a lot. And what does it mean to you?
World Gone Cold is like it's like a place for me creatively to where I know that I can take whatever I like. I can take any direction that I'm feeling, and nothing like I can explore, and nothing's really off the table. So that means a lot to me. It's really fun to write to and write with, and I think, the musicianship is top notch, like all the way around. Everybody, from Andrew's solos, Mark's writing, Yogi's drumming, it's all, and Trey's bass parts too. Like everything's just pretty sick in my opinion. I genuinely enjoy it, and to be honest with you, like it's something that I actually enjoy listening to on a daily basis.
That says a lot because you spend so much time with it when you're making
Yeah,
these. Sometimes you don't want to listen to it when
yeah.
it's done.
Sometimes you just want
Yeah.
to throw up it, or you'd rather throw up than listen
Right.
to it.
Yeah.
But no, like just because I think it's just because like it's a project that I was able to kind of just do my own thing with, and really feel good about me just being me, you know.
Mhm.
I think that's my one of my biggest things to take away is just being able to find a sound and really just love it, and love myself at the same time, because being a
Right.
musician's tough. There's a lot of times when you hate yourself and you you wish you were anybody else, but
Right.
I'm just happy being me right now. So that's awesome. That's like a huge thing. And World Gone Cold is just such a thing. Like being a part of it is like it's really hard to wrap your head around what's happening.
Mhm.
It's one of those things that you're just like you feel like you're in a cyclone and it's taking you a million different places. And
Awesome.
it's one of those things to where you like the reality of World Gone Cold is just like this. It's constantly moving, and it's like it's like it bends your mind.
Right.
you
Oh,
know,
that's
it,
awesome.
it does, just because I mean it and that statement is true for everybody's personality in the band, how we joke, how we write together. It's kind of madness, which is cool. It's just like it's literally one of those things to where you feel like you're almost in a musical Bermuda Triangle.
Right.
You can get
Right.
you can really disappear in it, and just kind of like you come out a month or two later and you're like, oh, what's going on, world?
Oh man, dude, that is awesome. Man, thank you so much, not just for taking time today, but
Yeah,
for shedding light on everything. And also, man, thank you for just such a fun EP because, it's the perfect length. You can listen to this 4 or 5 times in a row and not get sick of it, and every time discover something new that you didn't catch the time before. And I just absolutely love everything about it, man. Thank you so much. We
thank you,
get
man.
sent,
Appreciate
man, we get sent so much music to listen to and review, and it's good to have something that really just stands out and that you don't want to
it.
just when you're done listening to it, you for the first time you want to listen again, man. So man, thank you for that. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate that, man. And thanks for the fun insight on some of the songs because I had I love it even more. I'm gonna listen to it again now. So,
Oh,
man, that
you
was.
just wait. It's gonna get weirder and weirder, man.
I'm gonna have to pick. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna dissect every song now. See what I can find, man. I love that.
You're gonna be like, what's
Man,
this kid talking about now?
right? I'm gonna overthink everything now and overanalyze it all, which it's great, man. Dude, thank you so much. World Gone Cold out now, and more shows coming your way soon, guys. So check them out. Check out the EP. Buy it. Don't download it. Buy it and download it. Just buy the EP, guys, because it's so
Have
good.
fun with it.
Yes, man. Have a great Thursday, man. We'll talk to you again soon, and hopefully we'll see you out on the road sometime.
Sounds good, brother. We'll talk to you soon.